A company wants to design a cylindrical object that has a height of 10 centimeters and a volume of at least 2,000 cubic centimeters, but not more than 2,500 cubic centimeters. What is a possible radius in centimeters of the cylinder? Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So in the question, when it says a volume of at least 2,000 cubic centimeters, but not more than 2,500 cubic centimeters, that means we need to choose any value between 2,000 and 2,500 to be our volume. With the way it's worded of at least 2,000, that means we can choose 2,000, and not more than 2,500, that means we can also choose 2,500. So we could choose 2,000, 2,500, or any value in between here. So there's going to be multiple correct answers to this question, depending on what you choose for your volume. So it says the object is cylindrical, so this volume of a cylinder formula I screenshotted right off your state test reference sheet. So the back of that reference sheet has all of the volume formulas on it. Here we see that volume is equal to pi times the radius squared times height. So I chose for this example for the volume to be 2,000, but again, remember you can choose any value between and including 2,000 to 2,500. So since I chose 2,000, I'm going to substitute 2,000 in for the volume. So 2,000 is equal to pi times the radius squared times 10, because the problem tells us that the height of the cylindrical object is 10. So that's what we're going to substitute in here for height. All right, now we want to solve this for r squared because we want to figure out what the radius is. So the pi and the 10 are being multiplied by the radius squared. We want to get radius by itself. So to undo multiplying by 10 pi, we're going to divide both sides by 10 pi. When we do that on the right-hand side, we get two giant ones. So the pi's go away because they make a big one. The 10s make a big one. So then we get 2,000 divided by 10 pi, which is 63.6619772368 is equal to the radius squared. We're almost done, but we don't want the radius squared, we just want the radius. So to undo squaring something, we take the square root. Remember, the inverse of squaring something is taking the square root. So we need to take the square root of both sides of our equation here. So we're going to take the square root of the left-hand side, and we're going to take the square root of the right-hand side. When we do that, remember the square root of the radius squared is just going to be r. So r is equal to 7.978845600803. We don't want to type that all in for the answer though, because it says round our answer to the nearest hundredth. So when you're rounding to the nearest hundredth, remember that's 2 digits after the decimal point. When we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, we use the number in the thousands place, so this 8, to help us do our rounding. If this number in the thousands place is 5 or bigger, it's going to round the 7 up to an 8. If this number here in the thousands place is less than 5, the 7 is going to stay as a 7. So when we round this to the nearest hundredth, we get that our radius is equal to 7.98, because this 8 is going to round this 7 up. So the radius would be equal to 7.98, and that's what you would type into the box.